various multiplayer bugs, and it just wasn't going to make it. And we ended up releasing the game on December 31st, which is like, at the time, back then, you know, missing Christmas was the end of the world. Games sold during November and December. That was like when games sold. People bought them for gifts, and releasing a game in January, that just was unheard of. But we released Diablo on December 31st, and it ended up being the best-selling game of 1997, which turned out to be the best thing that could possibly happen for us, because, I don't know, those of you know, Blizzard Entertainment, we're known for making good games. We're not known for making them quickly. And so, Diablo gave us everything that we needed to be able to convince our parent company that actually it's better that the game is good than that it's on time. And that story has repeated itself over and over for us, and we've been rewarded constantly by making sure the quality is there when we finally release a game. Let's see, I'll fast forward a little bit. You know, Diablo 2 came out. This is when we added persistent characters to Diablo, which was a huge improvement in the gameplay, and also a big step towards persistence of world for us. And then World of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft we started working on in 1999. It took us about 5 years to develop. Our longest and largest development effort up until that time. When we released World of Warcraft in 2004, we had absolutely no idea at all what we were getting ourselves into. I thought going into it that the type of game, massively multiplayer, subscription-based, that we would sort of, just the fact that we were charging $15 a month, we would be limiting our audience based on, you know, when you compare it to the boxed product. Warcraft 3 up until that point was the fastest-selling PC game of all time. And so I figured, okay, that's got to be the high bar. No matter what, we know World of Warcraft is not going to sell faster than that. It'll sell something less. EverQuest at the time had about 500,000 subscribers, so we thought that, okay, we think we can do better than that. We think that they really targeted the hardcore. I think they had the assumption that this game would not appeal to a mass audience. And we thought that if we simplified the interface and sort of had a more shallow learning curve, and the EverQuest learning curve was very steep, that we could actually make it more accessible to a wider audience. Warcraft was also sort of a well-known franchise, with a loyal following that we developed over the years. So anyway, we released World of Warcraft, and right out the gate, it completely took off and exceeded all of our forecasts. We had to stop shipping boxes multiple times to the retailers over the first year. Our hardware infrastructure didn't scale the way that we thought it was going to, especially Oracle. Thank you very much, Oracle. Yeah, I'm bitter. But anyway, so we managed to re-architect things, and anyway, the game you know, really kept growing, and it also surprised us that it really took off internationally, especially in Asia, and even to date, we have more people playing World of Warcraft in Asia than we do in the West. And
who was the VP International?
And actually, we're very happy that our VP of International Operations is right here with us today. Thank you very much, Itzik. Actually, I can tell you a story about Itzik. So, there was... You guys want to hear a story about Itzik? Okay, Itzik came into the office the first time I met Itzik. And he had this deck. It was 500 pages of slides and graphs and everything, and he was basically trying to convince us that there was a big market in Europe.
How old he was?
I don't know, 16? 26. He was 26. Anyway, you have to understand that we're like crunching on this game, working really hard, and like, we don't believe in decks at Blizzard. So when you walk in with a 200-page deck, it's like, get to the point. What point are you trying to make? Okay, show me the information. But anyway, he made the point that that Europe was actually a big gaming market that nobody had tapped yet, and that they had broadband penetration throughout Europe, that even though the most successful game to date was Dark Age of Camelot, which had about 70,000 subscribers, that if you did it right, if you launched a game in Europe and treated the Europeans like a first-tier market and not an afterthought like most of the other American companies have been doing, that actually you could get a large community of European players. And so we actually followed its advice. And it's very interesting too, because I met with another industry person 2 weeks before we launched World of Warcraft, and they were convinced that there was no MMO market in Europe. Just didn't exist. Anyway, it was right about that. I'm glad we followed his advice, and and now the European market continues to be a really important market for Blizzard. Yay for Blizzard. Okay, so tremendous growth and scalability issues that we faced during the whole World of Warcraft experience, starting in 2004 and up until today. We grew the company from about 3 people in 1991, well, exactly 3 people, to I would say at the time we launched World of Warcraft, we might have had 250 people, maybe 300 max. And in the 7 years since, we've scaled up and grown. We now have over 4,600 people around the world, with Blizzard offices in France, Ireland, Seoul, Korea, Shanghai, China, Taipei, Taiwan, Singapore, customer service facility in Austin, Texas, and our headquarters in Irvine, California. So anyway, that has been a huge learning experience, just figuring out how to scale up a business like this and how to keep our employees globally connected and informed about what's going on throughout the company, and keeping people engaged. So I wanted to spend a couple of minutes about an exercise that we did at Blizzard, sort of to communicate the Blizzard culture, to try to put it in words to our employees. And so we came up with a mission statement and core values. Something that before we did this, I was like really opposed to, because how corporate is that? Mission statement and core values? Come on, we know what we're trying to do, right? But it turns out if you're able to nail it, like I think we